Alright guys, so today we're going to be spraying these two air vents. So I had to spray this for my project we're working on, but there wasn't really time. This was just brought in extra. We did like not even 30, like maybe like 50 of these already, and these were left behind by the HVAC guys and never brought it in. So what we're going to do is we're going to spray them here at home. So what you need is some water to reduce your paint. You're gonna need your spray gun, and obviously you could use a HVLP here. You could use your brush. I like using this or an HVLP. It gives a finer texture and it doesn't look all brushed onto these. It looks like factory. And of course you're gonna need your paint. I'm using flat because this stuff is going on ceilings. It's not going on walls, and it's not going anywhere else where it's a semi or satin or eggshell pure walls. So I'm gonna go with the same paint we're using for the walls, and this is a different paint, so each one's getting a different color. They're very similar, but it's different. So we're gonna put the paint in here. You're gonna need water to reduce the paint because that's 100% heavy, and you need a compressor. I'm using this cheap, so you don't even got to go that expensive route. This is a cheap Boschitech, what is this, Boschit or Boschitech, I don't know. It's a 6 gallon, it's 150 psi. This stuff, literally one of these works and then it shuts off. So let's go ahead and set it up and mix the paint. All right, so here we have this paint from Den Edwards. It's called Crystal Haze. Client wants that on, let's see which one it is. I can't see that one. Wow. Okay. Whoever prepped this one didn't. This one looks like it's Crystal Haze. All right, so it's this one. And by the way, all this has been sanded. It's been wiped off with acetone to get all the grease off, wipe off the dust, and it's been primed with metal primer spray can. But you can use oil, like what's that one? Cover stain spray cans. You can use 1, 2, 3 spray cans. As long as it adheres to metal, it'll work. So let's put that there. Let's go ahead and bring the water over, and you're gonna have to reduce this. Get yourself a stir stick, or like I'm using a stick, and I'm not gonna be using that much, so let's go ahead. And before I do this, let me just wipe this off. There's extras from a different color, just so I don't get any mixtures of colors. Okay, and we're good. Okay, so this is 100% paint going in. If you got a filter it. That's what I did before I poured it in this cup, so we could get even paint without it getting clogged up. Let's get our water. You want to make sure you don't over dilute it, as you don't want this to run. And once you get a good amount, you could start kind of feel it. So that right there looks pretty good. You want them to still hold. You can see it's not just running, it's not just water. Okay, let's put that to the side. Let's get our cover. And we're gonna test it before we actually spray that. We don't want any runs. So let's connect our hose. Okay. And well, before I do that, let me get all used to it. Let me move this aside. I don't want this in my way. Okay. right, I'm out the front, and pretty much during this time I paused it, I waited for my air compressor to fill up. So let me see what looks better. I'll do that right there. So I go this way and then I turn it around. That way I get all the cracks. All right, now as a comparison, this is unpainted, this is painted. This color is called Crystal Haze. This has, it's from the Netherworts, and it has a creamy feel to it. It's still on the, it's almost like Swiss coffee, a little bit creamier, plain white. I'm gonna paint that one as well with Portola Paints Figueroa, and we'll see what happens, how it looks. So let's get our gun, let's clean it. Alright, we're gonna empty it out, any of the residual. This is pretty much watered down paint. You could still use it, but I wouldn't. Let's get our water hose. And let's run some water through this. First the cap. Make sure you don't get paint all over your plants and your house. Okay. And try to get that in. Now we're gonna make sure it has a little bit of water. You put that right here while I go get the top. Shit. All right, well that just spilled. I got some new water. All right, we're gonna want to go ahead and wipe it off with so to clean our line, we're gonna go ahead and just throw the paint here. So now we're gonna do this one. Let's flip over. Take off the thing, it's clean. Let me raise this up a bit. Alright, this is Portola Figueroa. That's what the paint is called. The paint color, it's in flat as well. And let me just make sure. Yep. Okay. Okay, same thing. This paint is heavy. It's 100%. So let's wipe it down. Or not wipe it down. Reduce it. Get your stir stick. I'm using just a regular stick. And obviously get the feel for it to make sure you don't overwater it. And if you do, you could always just add more paint. It's not that big of a deal. And I think I did overwater it, so it's a bit more paint. It's always a good idea to, whenever you do this sort of thing, to do as much as you can. Not the paint, but like do as many as you can. This color had like 10 vents. The only issue is the HVAC guys didn't bring it in time, so I gotta do this now today, which is Sunday. And I gotta put this, I gotta color them and install them myself, because the HVAC guys are not gonna be coming by again. So let me move this a bit right here. Same thing, make sure you get all the angles. Same thing. All right, now that it's wet, it's gonna have water inside the gun itself, so we gotta make sure we empty it out. All right, let's start. I waited for my compressor to build up pressure. It's out the way. And we clean their gun and hose, so we're good. Alright, so I just finished spraying that one over there, letting that dry in the sun. And here's the one I sprayed at first. So I just want you to see how it looks. Let me see if I could zoom this in. That's how it looks. That is a clean finish. Super clean finish. I don't know if you guys can see that. That's like factory finish right there, and it's in flat. Now obviously it being flat, that means it won't stick on too well, but because I primed it and prepped it well, it should be, you know, pretty much stuck on really well. And plus it's going to be going on a ceiling. I don't think people are going to go climbing up and, you know, scratching this when they're moving furniture. But yeah, it's dry to the touch. Yeah, that's it guys. Catch you guys later. Hope you guys liked it.